B3, you got some of that truck driving game for the peoples?
Oh yeah, man.
My boy
That's
do the
really
box trucks and shit.
box trucks, semis. That's kind of like what you just said though. Like I kind of learned that early. Like I didn't want to do it to shine. I did it to start a business, to get out of the situation and make something better. You know, for my family, for my people. Like
Right.
starting a trucking business ain't just for me. It's for my homies too. Like get them jobs and help them with something.
Yeah.
Like getting a bag and just fucking it off and going to look at bitches and man, that shit is short term.
Yeah.
Like you gotta think of the long term goal at the end of the day, and that's really why I got into it. And a lot of niggas should get into it as far as trucking. Like even if you don't want to get in trucking, bro, invest your money in something. Like,
Yeah.
invest your money in something. You know, get your people out of the way and fall back. Like
Okay, let me ask you this, man. What's the single best thing you like about trucking? What's the number one thing you like about it?
number one thing, the freedom, really. You know, as me driving, having my own, not being able to report to nobody, you know, doing your own thing and all of that. But on the business side of it, it ain't as easy as everybody think it is. You know, you get a truck and all that, but as far as starting the foundation of it, I'm still learning it.
Right.
So I would say, trying to think of what would be the easiest thing to start it. But that's what I like about it, though. While, you know, saying what you were saying, that's what I like about it, the freedom of it.
Okay. How many trucks you got out there right now?
I got 3.
Okay.
I got a semi and I got 2 box trucks. Me and my boy, Bam. My boy, we started it together.
Y'all went half on the 2 trucks, or how did that work?
Yeah, we basically came in it together, and in the apartments, I had a plan. I had kind of a vision of it, and I started chopping it with him. Even talking to Bug kind of, we was chopping it together about it. You know, starting it, thinking about it, and I kind of just took it and ran with it. You know, I seen an opportunity. I'm sitting in the hood every day, like, all right, what am I gonna do next? Like, you know,
You could
I gotta
be doing something with this. It's time.
You know, let me put this money to work, vice versa, than fucking it off on something that don't really matter.
Right.
So, you know, I started it, you know, and it's been good. You know, we scaled up pretty quick. You know, first year, we going into our first year and we already got 3 trucks.
Right.
So, you know, we on the right path. You know, we just trying to figure it out just like everybody else is. It's a process.
You on the road every day. It's a vehicle on the road every day.
Like, I got a truck right now
that you just showed me a truck right now that's on the road.
I got a driver in Miami right now. Bro just got back from Texas. Texas. And I had the semi truck just come back from Miami.
Okay.
So something constantly moving. Like the first 6 months, I disappeared, man. I was on the road running that truck myself, 6 months strong. Me and my boy.
What's the number one danger with being on the road like that, you think?
Weather, man. You know, most of the time coming from where we come from, we don't deal with hurricanes and snow and
right
and all of that. Like, so I would say the number one thing is weather, man,
and knowing how to endure that and navigate that,
navigate through it, and you know, even just the business side, dealing with faulty people. It's a hustle. I look at it like a hustle, man. You dealing with foreigners that don't want to pay you. You dealing with all type of people, man.
You dealt with people that you didn't drove they load somewhere and a motherfucker playing with the money?
Yeah.
What?
Man, I waited a month to get paid before. $3,500. They gave every excuse in the world not to get that money.
A quick side note, you know how like in the streets niggas is faulty and be bullshitting with the money and you damn near ready to go to level 10 with them behind this right here.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Motherfuckers do that in the legitimate world way quicker.
Yeah, they'll fuck you out of some.
So
money
the criminal world is more honor and more niggas on point than the real world. The real world, motherfuckers will really play with you. And then have you in a situation where you can't go to level 10 on them.
you can't.
You have to use legal means to get at them,
Yup.
which they know take long and might fuck off your resources even having to come at them like that.
By the time you look up, you going
Serious on me?
yeah, when you
Yeah,
man, that
nigga.
over 3,500.
Niggas
would
will
think
play
that
with
it
you.
would-
They'll
I
play
would
with you,
think
and
it
you
would
can't
be
go to level
the
10.
opposite. Like I think that
It seemed like it.
It's a
Legitimate
hustle,
businesses, legitimate businesses with a name and credibility be like, we ain't got it.
Yep, it's a hustle.
And you like,
Every
wait a
day.
minute, what?
Like every
We
day
ain't
is
got
like-
it.
and you have to pay for gas and all that.
Yeah.
We ain't got it.
Do you have to deal with that shit a lot, or that was just one little
you-
situation?
Most of the time, they do square business, everything straight, but
But it's in the
sometimes-
cards.
yes,
It's in the
sometimes
cards.
you might deal with some
sometimes with the foreigners, you always, it's sad to say, Middle Easterns and all that. It's all a money play. It's basically how much money they got overhead. They might be paying, Amazon might be paying the broker $7,000-8,000 to move that freight, but at the end of the day, they giving the drivers and the companies pennies. So it's all a hustle. They trying to keep as much money as they can out of that 7,000 and give you the less, just to move that. So it's all a hustle. If they can get away with it, they can.
So as a driver, do you like, okay, I ain't doing loads for them motherfuckers no
Hell
more.
yeah.
That
You
company,
you
that
take,
company.
yeah, you take a note of it. Like
that ain't fuck
yeah,
them.
yeah. Like shit. If you take over 30 days to pay me, I'm not fucking with you no more.
What's the average day you supposed to get paid when you doing box truck driving?
Average day, dealing with like factoring companies, like most of the time I get my bread like the next day. If I deliver it on a Tuesday, I upload the paperwork, I get that the next day.
Wednesday, basically.
Yeah,
You supposed to get
Wednesday.
your Monday.
Yeah, I'm supposed to get my money. But then you start dealing with people that don't deal with certain companies, they might take 30 days, net 30s, net 60s. So, you try to stay away from them type of companies where, you got to wait on your money for a month.
Yeah, that ain't boom.
Yeah, because fuel, all that's coming out.
Yeah.
You got to pay. Drivers got to get paid, all that.
And
Don't-
sometimes the truck may be breaking down and all that type
Yeah.
shit because you're putting the miles on
Yeah.
it.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything. anything
Anything can
man.
happen.
So look, say like if you got a truck, right, and then you got a motherfucker driving for you, is there a set percentage that you pay that person off the loads that they running?
I pay my drivers 50 cents a mile, 25 cents if you're not up under a load. So
Hold on, if you not up under a load,
like,
meaning
so
if you
if
just driving
empty,
to the
yeah,
load,
if you deadhead and empty,
25
I'm
cents a
paying you
mile.
25 cents a mile.
And then once you get
Yeah,
the load,
I'm paying
pay
you
50 cents a mile.
50 cents a mile right now, because right now in the industry is kind of slow. But when it pick up, during the summertime and all that, then they pay will increase because it get a little busy.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, yeah, it's 50 cents a mile, 25 cents if you ain't got nothing on that truck.
Okay.
So, and that's they pay. And most of the time, like, I got a female driver right now, man, and she making bread. Her payroll make me sweat every week. She
Yep.
making $2,000 a week, something like that. So, we keep drivers moving and all of that.
Because
Like,
he really hustling.
Okay,
He
let
hustling.
me ask you this, man. Is it possible for motherfuckers to put bullshit in your loads? Like, maybe
man, hell yeah. So it's this place.
You say bullshit like drugs.
drugs.
Yeah, man, look. So me and my boy, it's this place called Laredo, Texas. We picked up a load of cereal, cornflakes.
I was about to say cereal.
Cornflakes.
Yeah.
Laredo, Texas is right on the border of Mexico.
Right.
So we picked it up, and it was about 3-4 pallets of cornflakes. I'm talking about some shit you wouldn't even think people would eat. We delivered it to the most jankiest warehouse downtown LA that I ever seen. It was probably about the size of this room. Delivered it. The next week, we going back out to Laredo. They pop a truck. They think they had like $100,000 worth of cocaine on the truck in the same place.
Who popped the truck? The police pulled it over?
The police pulled it over in the same area. So they always, it's ways
they'll put it in there without you knowing.
Nah, you don't know what's in it. They give you a paper and they tell you what's in there, but you ain't going back there physically opening the boxes. So, hell yeah, they can put all type of shit in that truck.
So if you don't know what's in the back of your truck, right? And the police pull it over, are you liable?
Nah, you not liable for it because I'm pretty sure they gonna investigate, but you not liable for it.
Cause you
you just moving it. You shit, I don't know what's on the back of that motherfucker. Like that's it. That's all. They gonna backtrack that to where you picked it up from, and all of that.
Now, how many times have you seen that happen where your people would pick up a load and then the police just swooped in on them and then it was like, oh, this is work or this is that or something?
I haven't seen it a lot. That was my first experience with it, seeing something like that, like in the area. But the way they operate on the road, man, they trip. Like the road is hectic. Like them police don't play, especially going through certain places. El Paso, Texas, all that.
The dogs and shit.
Man, they pulling dogs out. Anything close to that border, they bring in the border patrol out, all that.
They pulling you over.
Yeah, they pulling. You got to go through scales, like port of entries and scales where they got like X-ray machines that physically go through the truck while you driving through. And
so if you had a gun in the stash to protect yourself, they would see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The way
you gotta just be naked, basically, doing that shit.
I ain't gonna tell nobody what to do, but that shit, they got ways, bro. They take that serious with that trucking. Like you gotta be real on point with them, dealing with them on the road. Like if you not,
you could be stuck somewhere.
Man, I dealt with drivers. They trip with you over your drive hours. You could be driving, you only able to drive 11 hours a day. If you go over that, they'll sit your ass down on the side of the freeway, drive you off the side of the freeway and make you sit for 24 hours.
On the side of the freeway?
They'll take you to like a safe location.
And make you sit there. Yeah.
They'll ground you. It's called, they'll ground you. They'll red tag your truck into,
the 24 hours
until it's up.
Dang.
It's a lot of rules to it. Like most people that ask me, they, like people that's YouTube talk, they'll tell you, oh, it's easy and you can spend this amount of bread and all that. That's bullshit.
I don't never believe that type of shit.
Hell no.
I'm always like, that shit gotta be way harder than what you can imagine. And you gotta be on some finesse shit as you doing it.
Right. Hell yeah, you do.
You know what I'm saying?
So with even sometimes when you have to pay out your driver, say about 1,500 two bands, are you still getting a good enough profit for yourself as well?
Yeah, I can say you can.
Yeah,
but it ain't always like that. You know, it's trial and error. You might take some bullshit loads sometimes, and it ain't paying that much. But for the most part, yeah, it's profit in it. You know, you gonna take some wins, you gonna take some losses with that shit. I just look at it like kind of like a street hustle. To be honest, like you said, it's a hustle. You gotta be willing to go.
Learning experience too.
Yeah, it's a learning experience. Like anything new that you ain't used to, it's trial and error in it. So that's really where we at with it. But we blessed to make it to that first year because a lot of businesses go under in the first year. It's hard to get to it.
So have you have to deal with taxes your first year?
Hell yeah, taxes, fines.
The taxes want something.
Yeah, hell yeah, you gonna owe.
So
Like,
how you dealing with that? Got to pay people.
yeah, you gotta
Plus
get
now you got to give half the taxes of your profit. Like
you gotta like right now. I got a CPA and a bookkeeper. So like they basically right now it's tax season. They basically combing through like all my bank accounts, all my expenses, all of the money that I made on paper. They combing through it right now, basically going through it and taking out like fuel costs, tires, deductions, taking all my stuff that I paid for out of my pocket, so I don't owe them that much. So that's all new to me too. That's a whole new side of the game that niggas really wasn't taught. Taxes,
Right.
taxes.
Mhm.
Like when I first shit, I say we made like 100,000 on one truck.
Mhm.
We didn't see that shit on paper. It was on paper we seen it, but then when they said shit, y'all might get hit with a $40,000 tax bill, I'm like, for what?
Right, because we ain't see all that money at one time. Or
Hell
like over
no.
the right.
Like I wish I seen that in my pocket, but it's all about basically, scaling up. The more trucks you get, the more money you gonna make. You're not gonna hit big on one truck, and that's what a lot of niggas need to realize is you never gonna hit big on one. It's about scaling it up and grinding it out to where you could get to 2, 3, 4, and you making $3,000-$4,000 of profit off of each one or something like that, even more.
Per what week or
Like per week. I would say.
Are you saying per month?
Yeah, because my goal for my trucks is to make at least minimum $5,000 a truck, and that's
Is
low.
this per month or per week?
Per week. Per week. Five bands a week. That's just what it is right now during the slow season, but you could make anywhere upwards of 20. You feel me? If you running your truck hard,
Right.
it's all on what your grind is like, or what your hustle is like.
You your own boss.
Yeah,
Like, literally.
Yeah, basically, I do everything. I drive that motherfucker. You can't be too good. I feel like a lot of people when they start a business, they feel like they above everything because they the boss. Man.
Too good to get in the trenches.
Yeah, man,
Too good to get their
I'm getting
hands
in the
dirty.
trenches. I'm cleaning that motherfucker. I'm washing it. I'm driving it. Shit, I'll be the fucking mechanic too. I'll load it, all that. So, you gotta get out here and get it at some point.
I feel you.
All right, last question. When you pull up to places, are they supposed to load that shit on your truck, or do you have to physically load it?
Sometimes you gotta load it. That's kind of in the contract. Sometimes they'll say, it's like a hands-free thing.
So you have to put heavy shit up in that motherfucker?
Hell yeah. Sometimes like we pick up a lot of solar panels. A lot of people going solar, and them motherfuckers is heavy. They weighing like 1,500, 2,000. And you getting that with a pallet jack and you dragging that into the truck. Sometimes
But the pallet jack is helping.
yeah, it help it
most of
roll
the shit.
in, but sometimes that shit ain't doing what it's supposed to do. But
Right.
you gotta load some stuff sometimes, and then sometimes it's hands free. They load it for you. I say like 85% of the time they load it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't out there getting your hands dirty all the time, but most of the time you loading it yourself.
Pure game, y'all. Pure motherfucking game. Y'all take heed.
That truck game is on the boom right now, but it's just like everything else. You gotta really do the work.
Yeah, it
I
ain't,
feel you.
yeah.
It ain't no
there
easy.
ain't no shortcuts in it at all.
Ain't no add water and stir. Niggas
I
be,
like that.
Niggas be thinking shit is add water and stir. You gotta get them knots out. You gotta get them.
Straight up.
You gotta get them out. All right.